Welcome back! My name is Baller Scuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1982. Today, we're going to talk about Mr. Do. The story of Mr. Do takes us to Universal. We have briefly talked about Universal before. Universal was founded in Japan as Universal Lease Company Limited in December 1969. Universal began releasing video games in 1977. Starting with clones of successful arcade games. They released Scratch, a clone of Breakout, in 1977, and Cosmic Monsters, a clone of Space Invaders, in 1978. Universal began releasing original titles in 1978, starting with Getaway. They started to achieve success in 1980 with the release of Space Panic, an arcade platform game that we briefly mentioned in our honorable mentions of 1980 video. Universal also released Ladybug in 1981, a maze game inspired by Pac-Man that achieved moderate success at the arcades, then gained prominence as a launch title for the ColecoVision. Universal followed up this success with Mr. Do. Mr. Do was developed by Kazutoshi Ueda. The game is heavily inspired by Dig Dug. In the game, the player controls Mr. Do. In the original Japanese version, Mr. Do is a snowman. In all of the other versions, Mr. Do is a circus clown. The player digs tunnels underground while collecting cherries. The player is chased by red monsters known as creeps. If the creeps touch Mr. Do, the player will lose a life. Mr. Do can fight back against the creeps by dropping apples on them or by throwing a Powerball at them. Ueda got the idea for the Powerball by seeing a Super Ball on a nearby roof. The apples, when dropped, can also kill Mr. Do and will rarely spawn a diamond. As the player reaches certain scores, letters from the word extra will begin to appear in the form of an alpha monster. Should that monster be defeated, the player will collect the letter. If the player collects all the letters from Extra, the player will beat the level, and a small scene will play accompanied by the theme to the Astro Boy cartoon. The player can also beat the level by collecting all the cherries, defeating all the creeps, or by collecting a diamond. The game was released as a conversion kit. The idea was that arcade owners could purchase Mr. Do and convert an existing arcade cabinet to play the game instead of purchasing an entirely new cabinet. Universal reached out to Taito in order to release Mr. Do in Japan. Taito released Mr. Do to arcades in Japan in September 1982. Universal released Mr. Do to arcades in North America in December 1982, and arcades in Europe sometime in late 1982. That is the short backstory to Mr. Do. With that now told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. And here we are in the game. This is Mr. Do. As you can see, released by Universal in 1980. We have some very vibrant colors on the screen, but here's basically all the instructions that you get. You can play as Mr. Do and then throw your Powerball, but you have to wait for it to come back. And then we have all the letters for Extra, and as you defeat the monsters, you can collect the letters and defeat them like that to get the word Extra, and then you win. You can also get a diamond to win. You have to collect all the cherries. There's a lot of ways to win this game. It gets fairly complicated fairly quickly. But we are going to do what we can in this game. I'm not anticipating having the best run in this game because there's just so much going on, but I will see what I can do as I continue to play. Let's go ahead and put the quarter in, and we will see what I can do in the game. Alright, we'll go ahead and throw the ball. We have to kind of wait for it to respawn so that I can, go again. Alright, we got another one. Get all the cherries. Drop that. Didn't get any. No, I did get somebody. Alright, didn't get anybody there. That's alright. No! Get away. Get away. Alright, got that back and let them kill each other. No! My ball! I'm gonna need that. Alright, somehow that worked. On to level 2. Alright, we do have the E floating around up top. I should try to get that. There we go. And then it spawns an apple. That I didn't quite use right, but I got another one to work properly. So. And I killed myself. I doubled back on myself. I didn't mean to do it. Like I said, don't anticipate having the best run here. Alright, just in time there. No! And he's faster than me! Alright, I got him. Okay, I didn't get the R, but I didn't really have an opportunity to get up there. I need to kill the thing behind me. Alright. Alright, I got one. Can I get the ball back? Now! I got the ball back, but I didn't see it in time. Alright, last one here. Last life. Well, we have a T up there. Let's see if I can get that. Alright, I got the T. Can I get this? I sure can. I don't like the looks of this one bit. No! I thought the apple was going to take care of him, but they went right through it and ate it up. Alright, so that is one life. But you know what? I did alright for myself. I got a high score. I feel like that's okay. I got the highest score, but then again, doesn't seem like it's that difficult to get a high score. Like I said, there's just a lot going on in this game. It is not straightforward or, you know, kind of necessarily self-explanatory, which is why they probably have such a long introduction screen. But we will try again. We'll see what I can do. You guys gonna come this way? Just missed him. Alright, take care of you. Get my ball back. How did that miss? I call shenanigans. I'm gonna get the cake. Alright. Once again, they eat everything. No? Oh, there's so many and they're so fast! They're so fast! Getting the cake was a bad idea. But I got a lot of score out of that. But once again, I'm not always going for score in these kinds of games. Let's just get all the cherries, call it a day. There we go. On to stage 2. Yeah, getting that thing in the middle is seemingly death. They send the Pac-Man ghosts after you. Can I get the ball back? Like, it spawns back a little bit slower every time. Just missed him. Yeah, we're going to avoid the things in the middle here. Okay. What? I threw the ball, but it came right back to me. I am not very good with this power ball. Come on, get that. Alright, I got you. Just get the cherries. Why am I not moving on? That was all the cherries. Is there a cherry hidden behind one of these apples? There has to be. I can defeat all the enemies. He didn't want to eat me that time, which helps. Alright, let's get all these cherries. Yeah, every group of 8. That was a heat-seeking apple. That was not nice at all. That came for me. That bounced off the side and came for me. All right, we'll put in my initials again. I think I got one more in me. It's a game. It is. There's a lot going on, like I said, and it's hard to keep track of everything all the time. All right, one more go. We'll put in the quarter, and we will try again. All right, every time that you get this group of 8, you get a little bit more points, right? You get 500 points. The Powerball, it just feels like it bounces a little randomly for me. Alright, we'll get you. No! I wanted to go up and I went to the right instead. Alright, we'll get all these. Give me my points. I didn't do it fast enough? I didn't do it fast enough. There we go. Got my points that way. Yeah, you have to do it quickly to get the points. If you're too slow, I don't like it. There is a T. Yeah, I missed that, but that's okay. Alright, got you. Froze them for a little bit. I'm not gonna get the T. Just get all the cherries and move on. Alright, on to scene 3. But you basically get the idea of the game. Even though there's a lot going on, I wasn't able to show off everything, but that just wasn't going to happen anyway. Alright, you go ahead and drop on you. And I died by killing the thing because it turned into an apple that fell immediately. Hooray! I think I can get a new high score for me here. I can at least make it to the next scene, which we have not seen yet. There we go, on to scene 4. Very good! Is that what we're playing as? That was a creepy eye. That scares me a little bit. Yeah, not fast enough there at all. You can't have a break. You gotta get all of them in a row. Alright, let's just try to get the cherries here. Should be able to get them. There we go. And definitely a new high score again. Yeah, the cherries seem to be the best way for me to do this. I feel like it's the most basic way of doing the game, but we will get our underground cherries, which I'm sure are very tasty. But yeah, tried to throw it, didn't seem to hit the button in time. But I got a new high score. We made it to scene 5, which I feel is pretty good. So I think that is going to do it for me today. That is the game now played. So with the game now played, let's talk about how it holds up today. Playing the game today, I do have to say that the game is fun. It is a game that you can pick up and play and enjoy. With that said, it is fairly complicated. It is not a pick up and play and you understand everything that's going on in the game kind of game. It is a game that requires some explanation. It is a game that is complicated, but because it is complicated, you can kind of develop your own strategy on how to play the game. There are going to be certain things that you like doing and certain things that you don't like doing, certain things that cause death for you pretty often, and certain things that you can play and just kind of avoid death when it comes your way. So there's a lot kind of going on in this game, and that makes for an interesting gaming experience. And if I were to pass this off to somebody else, they would play the game differently than I would. And that's an interesting thing, especially in 1982, where most games have a very straightforward approach. You have a very set goal of what you want to do. But in a game where there are, I believe, 4 different ways to beat any given level, that kind of goes away, and you can try to figure out better ways to do things for your playstyle. So this is definitely an interesting game. Is it heavily inspired by Dig Dug? Yes. Is it weird? I would say so. You're playing as a clown, and in the one scene that we got, I would say that the eyes were very creepy on that clown, but that's a whole different thing. The game is fun and bright and definitely appealing. It's not necessarily a game you hear about too often, but I think that I prefer this game to Dig Dug, and it's hard not to compare the two games because this one is so heavily inspired by Dig Dug. But between these two games, I would say Mr. Do is the better option. If you're definitely revisiting it from a modern perspective, Dig Dug is straightforward. There's only a couple things that you can do in order to win. Mr. Do is much more complicated and will require more strategy and trying to figure out what is the best thing for you. As a result, I think that Mr. Do is quite the improvement over Dig Dug, and I don't think that it is a clone of Dig Dug because of those improvements. In terms of graphics, I think the graphics are pretty good. There's definitely a lot going on, but I would say that what they have portrayed looks like what they want it to be. You have the clown, you have the enemies, you have the cherries. They look very much like what they're supposed to represent. In terms of the sound, I think the jingles basically that are going on are quite cute. There's not too much more going on than the jingles and the music, but the sound, it sounds good to me. The sounds are good for 1982 at least. In terms of gameplay, it's a little frenetic for my taste. There's a lot going on, like I kept saying. So it's a little bit hard to keep track of everything that's going on the screen, a little difficult to develop the strategies in the middle of a level. You kind of have to have it pre-mapped out, and that just kind of comes with experience. But overall, I think the gameplay is a highlight of the game. So in terms of playing this today, is it something worth going back to? It's definitely something that's worth dropping a couple quarters in if you happen to see it. Is it something that I would necessarily go out of my way to find and play? Probably not, but I'm sure there are going to be some people that do feel that way about this game, that do want to go out of their way to find it. But that's not necessarily how I view it. And that's my modern take on the game. When Mr. Do was released, the game proved to be successful. In Japan, Mr. Do became one of the top 10 highest-grossing arcade games of the year. In the US, Mr. Do would sell 30,000 units. The critics were also positive about the game, seeing the game as an improvement on Dig Dug. Mr. Do would inspire ports, re-releases, clones, and sequels. We will keep an eye on those as we continue. As for Kazutoshi Ueda, he would continue to work in the industry, and we will be hearing from him again. As for Universal, we will hear from the company again, although only briefly. That will do it for the story of Mr. Do for now. My name is Baller Scuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when video games reach the small screen.